preparing during the time I was preparing a technical presentation to our mentoring course, and I thought that PowerPoint is quite popular instrument among everybody and within the working environment. I do know that Figma and Apple-based devices also use other instruments, but PowerPoint is actually more known in the market, so I decided to focus on that. And I do hope that the things I will show you today will help you during your presentations at the university or some other activities you're participating. Because everything that I will be showing you today, it's like easy to use, easy to manage, easy to create, and easy to adjust your presentation from being just slide with text or a slide with pictures to more interactive ones. Simple things to present, etc., etc. So I do hope you will like them. If you have any questions during our today's meeting, please just ask them in the chat. And I will be showing you the screen today. Do you actually see my screen? I'm not sure that it's, yeah, it should be. I will be showing not only the screen with presentations, but also the presenters view mode, and we will be mostly working with it because I will be going through creating some parts in the presentation. Anyway, the next slide is about actually myself. I'm an Learning and Development Program Manager at Sigma Software. Sigma Software University is a brand that we use for such educational activities we have. And I've been in IT sphere for more than 10 years. Actually, this August, in a couple of weeks, it will be 11 years as I am in IT. And I've went through basic positions like copy pasting data from Word to Excel to a program manager in our company. I'm with Sigma for the last 2 years already, and actually this presentation, as I already mentioned, is also part of our mentoring program. It's bigger, it has more perks there, but nevertheless, I've taken the most interesting, to my mind, things to present to you. So let's go. First of all, the thing, and I'm actually switching to presenters mode. I hope you see my screen and everything on it. The first thing that you normally add after the presentation and after the presentation main slide and after your introduction is a slide with agenda. So basically, when you're writing an agenda, you need to write something, etc., etc. So the fun part is that when you have certain screens, certain slides that you use as part of the agenda, you just can drag and drop them here. I know that it's like a stupid thing, but nevertheless, it works. And the thing I like here is that they definitely add some interaction here because you see how they move. Normally, people don't actually use them. It's like, let me write a classic agenda, maybe use a context menu to add some links to it, but you just can add some separate slides and drag and drop them in the order you need. And the fun part here is also that you can get back to the previous slide and choose another one. Anyway, moving forward is the loop part, and it's an important thing. Most of people I've worked with, most of people I saw, most of the presenters during different iterations of using PowerPoint, they miss it because it's not critical normally. All the presentations normally has an end slide, but normally after this end slide comes the black blank slide. So to avoid this situation, here in slideshow tab, we have set up slideshow, and here's just a small point checkbox to use. It's like loop continuously. If we take this checkbox out, I will show you how it looks like when you end the presentation. Yeah, thank you slide, and then we go boom, black slide, and then we go to the presenters mode. When the loop is activated, you just go with the next click, you just go go to the first slide. So the presentation is looped and nothing will influence your presentation and your end of presentation. If you need, for example, to get back to some slides during the Q&A session or something like that. So around 5% of people that I worked with use it, and around 3% out of these 5% are people who already got the presentations from me with this loop activated. So I'm not sure that they knew about it. And for your presentations during university years, I think it would be a useful thing to use in case you like presenting your diploma work, or you're like participating in some conferences and there may be questions, you would like to get back to some slides during these questions. So looping the presentation. Also, this is the thing that's not quite comfortable with the keyboard, but I mean the notebook keyboard. But when you're working with additional, for example, keyboard, as I do normally, with this additional number part of the keyboard, or you're working with the desktop computers, you can use actually simple points as, oh my God. Yeah, we're getting, for example, 12th slide here. We can add just printing the number 8 and clicking enter, you get to the needed slide. For example, I have somewhere like 20 slides here, if I'm not mistaken. Now it's, my God, 25 slides, yeah. We get to the slide 25, for example, and you got a question. And you more or less remember that this question refers to the page 5. You just print on your keyboard 5, enter, and you get to the 5th page. Then we go to the 7th page, 7, enter, we go to the 7th page. 2nd page, here's about myself. You don't need to click. I constantly see this thing when people are clicking, double clicking, let me get to the slide, let me get to the main mode and refine in my presentation slides. Normally what I do, I have this small notebook, like very small notebook is just to take notes. And I have my slide there, printed there normally, not printed, so written down this slide, maybe with questions is this number, etc., etc. So I just use this notebook. The question is about 12 slide. I print it on the keyboard and set it forward to show. Very useful thing, especially when you're using a big normal sized keyboard. Just this additional part is very useful. Also, one moment, there should have been another, yeah. Black and white, yeah, here it is, sorry. This slide should have been here. Black and white, B and W letters. I hope that you see my screen right now, the full size. Let's imagine the situation that you're presenting your presentation to a number of speakers and they ask you questions. In the format that we have right now, you have a big screen and a small pictures, but you would like people to focus upon your answer rather than like reading something from the page. In this case, you can either click your keyboard on the W button and you'll have a wide screen. Then when you are returning to the presentation after your answer or after you have fixed the audience's attention upon yourself, you just click any button on the keyboard, on your mouse buttons, and you return to the very same slide. So there will be no false clicks moving forward or backward during this part. So in my case, it's actually quite actual. I think you already see that I have rather expressive presentation skills. And in this regards, when I use W or B, black or white screens, I focus attention on the people, and I'm quite sure that nothing will happen after I click any button on the keyboard. I will get directly to the same slide that I was presenting. Actually, this was a part during my lectures. I've been for a certain period of time a university lecturer. I've had lectures about management and management team process, team building, etc., etc. And there were parts of the presentation when I did need to focus students' attention on what I'm saying rather than what is on the screen, especially when the slide on the screen was, for example, for 5 minutes. So some of them were there for this period of time. So just for students not to get bored, blank, well, what's happening? I need to focus my attention. Normally, when you're presenting something, when you have a presentation process, when you're delivering some speeches during online or offline events, it's recommended to regain attention of the audience every 20 minutes. So if you understand that your presentation reaches the 20-minute period, you just can use these buttons to distract people from cell phones or anything else that they are doing. Anyway, let's go further with the slides. Yeah, this is the latest slide. One point here that this functionality is available when you're using Microsoft Office 365. I'm not sure that I do the correct by correctly meeting people to the meeting, but anyway. Let's imagine a situation that you have a presentation with the text or maybe even with pictures, but something's missing. You don't know, you don't like how it looks like, but you don't have either desire or skills to make it more visible or more accurate and more usable. In this regards, Office 365 offers you a lazy mode, as I call it. First of all, you need to take pictures, and this is also one of the features available for this kind of office. If I'm not mistaken, student and university accounts have this privilege available. When you're working with stock pictures, you normally are not allowed to use them in commercial or company activities, but these pictures are totally free of charge and available to you. So for most situations, you can actually use them. And let's take a picture. I've added a picture, but I don't like it. I've moved it to back. And what Office 365 offers on the Home tab? It offers designer functionality. I didn't have it in Microsoft Office 2016 and 16 at the time. But when you have this web part, it's not available in Microsoft Office for web view, but the desktop allows you to do this. And this is the designer tab. Actually, you see already the right part of the window. It also uses the templates. I'm currently using my company's template here. You see, the color line, etc., etc. So it's actually tries to match the colors to the ones that are set up in the predefined template of the presentation. And it suggests some funny and interesting layouts that are there with one or couple of clicks for you. So normally, actually, one of my favorites is this one, because here I can also add some pictures, etc., etc. But nevertheless, you can combine a presentation of 100 slides and just then go click the slides. The design is more or less predefined. With time, you see that they are the system suggests more or less similar presentation formats, but nevertheless, they are quite easy to use and quite pleasant to see. We have a rather strict policy for our presentations, but I actually never had any objections from designers when I use these templates or adjusting our templates a little bit for some slides in the presentation. So quite interesting thing to use. One more thing, I definitely am sure that you had this problem a lot of times with a lot of pictures in PowerPoint. So you don't have any opportunity, for example, to make simultaneous adjustments to all the pictures. If, for example, I will try to use transparency for all the pictures here, it won't work. So you basically, what you need to do, you just need to go to this template. You need to add transparency, for example. We also would like to add some line for the picture. Okay, then we go to the next one, and next one. It's sometimes boring, especially when you, as I sometimes do, make collages of a lot of pictures. You need to process each of this picture, a big headache. What PowerPoint offers you here. I think you should have, or you might be familiar with the format Painter. This is an option to duplicate in Word, in Excel, also in PowerPoint, to duplicate the already predefined by you features of text or of picture to other pictures. So what it actually does is when you choose it, it does the same, should do the same for other pictures. But you need to make a double click here. And then something's not working. Sorry, let's try it one more time. Yeah, you see, I've chosen the incorrect example. So we took this slide and now we're using the same. You see, after double click, I don't need to re-click it for a couple of times. We use the same features, the same setup we used for only one picture to every other pictures. It's a cool feature to do. And when you're using a lot of pictures, it's quite easy to do it. For example, when you're moving from a lot of slides, you have some picture on second slide, and you would add the same functionality or same features to picture on the 70th or 73rd slide. Just double click and copy paste it. Moving forward, clipboard history. This is actually a very funny thing I've got in YouTube. When you have paste special here, sorry, not this. Sorry, that's not the slide that should have been here. This restricted information. It should be here, right? Copy. No, sorry, I've lost. It should be here. This one, no, not this one. Something's not working correctly. I had this. Yeah. Sorry, sometimes it happens. I'm not sure what, maybe I don't have enough copy paste information here. One more time. And it should be somewhere here. I will double check not to waste any of your time. I will just skip it, but I'll double check and provide this information in the presentation itself, how to activate it. I'm not sure why it's not working, but I had this problem also previously with this part. I think I didn't click enough clipboard ports. Cut out. This is also quite interesting feature. It allows you to do cool stuff here. First of all, let's add a picture from stock. Let's use fire here. Yeah, let's use this one. I like it. We have a picture and we'll use it here. Also, we can insert and, for example, yeah, a heart here. And also we can add text here. Some small advertisement incorporated in the presentation, but nevertheless, we use a bigger, and let's use a bigger, name here, smaller. What we do, we take this, we take this, this text, we go to, I got shape format, yeah, and we got edit something went wrong again. One moment, guys, I need to find this merge. Yeah, it's not, I'm doing it incorrectly. We have a heart here, we have a picture here, and we add text, insert text. Additionally, Yeah, to fit to two pictures. Yeah, we have a text here. Let's go with white color. Let's go with bigger picture, smaller here. Yeah, make it in the middle, and we place it here. We combine two objects. We go to shape format, and we have merge shapes here, and we can do combine here. If I'm not mistaken, it should be working. Yes, it's working. So you actually can make such parts if you, for example, have some moving objects. I had a presentation. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find it. I had a presentation with submarine. So there was a window there with some I thought the fishes moving there was cool, and actually it was a video combined in such a way that the illuminator and the fishes and the information on the other side. Or you can just use it to this extent. And for example, going here, we can subtract one more time. Sometimes it's not working correctly. Unfortunately, merged should be fragment. Yeah. So we can delete some fragments, and sometimes it's not working correctly. But we'll get a little bit later to that. But anyway, the picture you're seeing right now on the screen, just adding some cool texts to your presentation and making it hidden. Moving forward, this is a setup if you, for example, would like to have a more or less unified presentation. For example, there are questions there. Yeah. So if you, for example, are planning to have a number of lectures, so it would be more convenient for the university teachers, or if you, for example, conducting, I do know that some of our students conduct classes in English, for example. I do know that in KPI, the students from linguistics do that. I had an employee who did that. And for example, you're conducting math classes. A lot of students I've worked with from KPI and other universities, they conduct mathematics classes for school children, just to get their knowledge better. And for them, sometimes it's better to use more or less predefined presentation, with their logos, with their photos put there, etc., but they don't want to do it on a regular basis. In this case, there is such an option called Slide Master. It's on the review page. It's available, View tab. Sorry, not review, but View tab. Just here. What it offers you to predefine the positioning of every element on certain slides. So currently you see our Sigma presentation here with predefined photos, predefined positioning of other materials here, or some examples, etc. But you can actually use this setup to create your own. If you are starting a startup, it also would be cool to have your own presentation, but constantly making people do it themselves, not good. You just create this presentation. You can create this setup as you see it fit and provide the presentation in this view, and then people just can use layout with the predefined set you already have. It takes time. It takes some internal push from yourself, but anyway, it works, and it actually helps a lot if you're starting small startups or starting your own company. You don't need to offer or order it for some big money from other designers. Here also two quite simple elements to use. First one is actually the arrow. You should see it on the screen right now. It's moving by itself. So you're pinpointing some information as exclamation mark or something like that. How to do it? It's quite simple to do, actually. If we insert certain element. Let's take the same arrow here. Yeah, here it is. We added an arrow. I don't know. You can use certain formatting aspects for it or predefined coloring. Let's make it this way. And for example, you would like to add some shape to the arrow and like do it this way. Yeah, it will look like this on the presentation. Yeah, I don't like it. Let's go with this variant. Not at all. Like this. And anyway, what you want to do, it's like you have an arrow and you have an animation here. The animation is quite simple. It's lines. It's called the lines. You already see that the picture is moving, but you would like to adjust the direction. I think it should be here. No, it should be here, right? And what you just like to do is to add, is to add time limit for the arrow. Effect options here. Timing on click with previous, activating with previous, and it should be until next click or until end of slide. Yeah. So after that, the arrow will be moving without you doing anything. You'll have this point. One more point is that it should be looped, if I'm not mistaken. Effect options here. The slide until next click. Effects one more time. Repeat until end of slide. Yeah, but it should be a little bit. Yeah, should be moving. Oh, sorry. Actually went further. Yeah. What I have here is that something starts previous, some other unlocked. One moment, it should be returning. It's somewhere here to set up the return. I'm not quite sure. Sorry, what's this effect? But anyway, there will be videos there in the end where you can find the final part for this slide to go backwards because yeah, I don't remember this part. Also, going further here, the slide that we have, the picture we have here is also from the predefined list. The problem is this picture is has background. So sometimes you send to back, for example, yeah, you see that this picture had this background. Sometimes I used it in one of my presentations. I used Simon's cat. I don't know whether you're familiar with it. It's like an animated cat from TikTok and YouTube. There is an author who has a cat, and he actually paints a lot of pictures with that cat and his life with this cat. So there are a lot of funny moments. I used them in one of my presentations, but most of these pictures, they were with background, with background. So I didn't like it, and it was sometimes impossible to combine text and background because I had a lot of text and it needed to move, and the picture would go small. Each time going to Photoshop and trying to fix the background, it's like quite a headache. But the pleasure part of PowerPoint is that it actually allows you on the picture format tab to remove certain specific color, set transparent color here. The only problem is it can like change or take the similar colors, so it's not working with shadowed pictures or pictures where you have the same color on, for example, a man actually used one of the pictures from the predefined list. It was a basketball player with a black background, but he also had black shorts. When I deleted the black background, I simultaneously deleted part of his shorts. It was like, it looked funny, but nevertheless, here on this picture, it's not critical. On my pictures with Simon Cat, it was only the black lines of the cat and the white background, so only black lines remained, and in the end, in the picture, it looks okay. Yeah, so you still have it, but on the other hand, you, for example, can move it closer to the text, and you see the white part is not covering the text itself here. Something like that. Moving forward, this part is actually the one I love. This is a puzzle. I actually call my team puzzles. So I love to use this type of screens and animation when I present new members of the team joining the team. And it actually can be done only and unanimously in PowerPoint. I will show you here on the next slide how it actually is done. First of all, you need to remember that when you are building shapes in PowerPoint, you need to use, if I'm not mistaken, Shift button. Control is Shift, I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So you see I'm like holding the Shift button right now, and the shape that is forming is a square. If I don't use Shift and I use the same shape to be inserted, it would be a rectangle. Yeah, I see a hand. Oh, so cool. Zoom does that. How do I lower my hand? Anyway, what you do need to remember is that you need to lower your hand to put Shift button here, to press the Shift button to have a correct square, correct all side square. I'm going back, taking Shift. I'm taking 4, like Control C, Control V. One more, but I don't want to use it yet. Another one and another one. So cool, works. Going further here is that, yeah, it should be like here and here. Yeah, everything's fine. What I would like to do further is to make puzzles. I insert another shape. Let's take round form right now. One here. And the same one here. Yeah, middle, centered. So we don't need anything of these. Shift. So we have shapes here. What we do, we go to shape format, one more time, merge, and fragment. So by fragment, first we have this and this one, and here shapes will make fragments. What it allows us to do, it allows us to delete some parts of the objects. And then we go here and here, and we use union. So we have one unified puzzle part. Then we just duplicate it, and we turn it around. If we didn't forget about squaring, we have it aligned perfectly. Another one, we round it here. Aligned perfectly. Cool. And another one, aligned perfectly. We have a puzzle. But in this case, you actually can use any pictures for like substituting. I don't know, picture, let's insert gradient here. We can have gradient here, gradient here. I'm not using pictures because like it's a lot of them. But anyway, now you have a puzzle here. And then by going to animation, to simple animation, simply once more. But we would like to have it here and to be it reverse path direction. Yeah. And we'll loop it one more time, and we go like through the animation effects one more time here. Yeah, so with the effects, unlocked path, time on click was previous, delay 2 seconds. Let's be here. We're going it until 2 seconds duration until the end. And repeat until. Yeah, so I think it was here when done playing. It should be working right now. No, it's not. Anyway, not quite sure why it's not working because of the delay, I think. Let's get back to small delay and try it one more time. Yeah. Yeah. Something like that. The reverse order, I don't remember right now how to put it, but it will be also one more time available there in the end. So preparation for morphing. This is actually quite interesting. In fact, I'm not sure whether you're familiar with it or not. It's also animation available here. I already made the predefined setup. You should have seen it partially. I got how to get rid of this hand here. Lower my hand. How I don't like it. Anyway, what I did, I have some pictures, and by the way, in this regards, when you're using pictures and you go to picture format mode, these modes are actually applicable in their options to all the pictures in contradiction to the previous slides. So I've shown you where you can't pinpoint every, change every slide with different aspects. Anyway, we'll stick with this one. I like it. I've chosen the pictures. I've made certain order for this picture. So basically, when we're moving further, the pictures move from this this corner, they move to the center, and here they just go round themselves. And all these pictures, the transition option that I'm using here is morph. So how it looks like in the end, when we go to morphing part, this is actually a feature that was available on Apple devices previously with their Office tools, but here in PowerPoint, it was like a little bit later introduced, but nevertheless, it's quite cool. When you go to next slide with morph picture, it looks like this. Then you go to another morphing, and it looks like this. So basically, you can make a cool animation for your presentation here. What looks more cool when you have a predefined 3D object, and it eventually looks like this when you use morph on these objects. So it's totally 100% done with the instruments of Microsoft PowerPoint. One more time. We can go backward, we can go further, and the antenna goes around. So a cool feature, it actually takes a lot of time to do this, well, 20 to 40 minutes to align everything. But in the end, you get to certain cool points to show during your presentation. One last thing I would like to show you. It's actually a thing that I was asked by one of our colleagues. It's timer. It's not here in this presentation because it's actually very easy to do. You take a slide, you take it here, for example, where it's used. You're conducting a presentation, you have a slide where you would like your team or people you're working with to have 1 minute to perform certain actions. Create a presentation, have a discussion or something like that. So you basically can add a field. You you add animation, and this animation is actually moving. 1 minute. It's or like actually it can be wipe. Yeah, and you just add 1 minute here for the presentation to be activated, for the slide to be activated on click. If I'm not mistaken, it should be, yeah. But it's not 1 minute here, delay. It's 10 seconds, so it should be 60 seconds, sorry, like this. Getting back one more time. And you have your timer. The time goes, you have 60 seconds for people to do. And they can follow it. One more option is just the remove. Yeah, exit point. It's somewhere fly out, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you can do the same thing for other. Normally, I use exit point here. Why it's not? Yeah, it's reset 60 seconds. 60 should be 60. It's 59. Okay, so your first click and it's moving. It's moving. Yeah, here on this click, you see that your timer is ticking. People see that the timer is ticking, and actually some other options available. I like it. I won't be printing, showing you the clock positioning, but when you use, for example, this round shape, you go to animation, and here on the animation, we use wheel, or we use the exit wheel, if I'm not mistaken, it's somewhere here. Yeah, and you do the same thing here, 60 seconds. And when we enter on click and another click, the timer goes. So just more or less convenient timer for your audience to work with. Anyway, I hope you like these features. I'm sorry for this small misunderstanding with the moving slide. I totally forgot how it's done in the end. But this presentation will have certain links to other questions, to other videos that you can use actually in your presentation. Fast, easy to use features. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask them. Thank you for your attention. Any questions? 1, any questions? 2, some questions? 3, and sold. If you don't have any questions, one more time, thank you for your attention. I will share the presentation with the org team, and they, I think, will share it with you. Thank you very much, and I hope we'll see you again during the next KP Open event.
Thank you so much, Volodymyr.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a great day then. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.